scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard. And
Sophie Cunningham, oh man, I got to tell you, this victory, it came with a big price.
Look at today's game where Sophie Cunningham went out in the first half. And that was such a huge blow for the Indiana Fever because Sophie Cunningham has been somebody, she has been the glue of this team since Caitlin has been out.
Sophie Cunningham was flat out targeted by a dirty player.
I'd say there's a near 0% chance that Sophie Cunningham plays again this year.
The basketball gods have officially declared war on the Indiana Fever. And today, they delivered their most devastating blow, yet by taking out Sophie Cunningham in the most heartbreaking way possible. What started as another routine game against the basement-dwelling Connecticut Sun turned into an absolute nightmare when Bria Hartley, who apparently thinks she's playing rugby instead of basketball, crashed directly into Sophie's knee and left Indiana's toughest defender writhing in agony. On the court,
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what it was at first when I saw her went down. So let's break down the play where Sophie got hurt. So as you can see here, Bria Hartley is going baseline. Kelsey Mitchell is guarding her. And then Sophie comes over to help. And then Bria Hartley falls on her leg. And Sophie immediately grabs like her shin area.
They went at Sophie Cunningham early. And considering this is Bria Hartley, I'm not ruling out she jumped through her knee. Considering who it is, I'm not. Like, Bria Hartley has been ejected multiple times. She's yanked Angel by the hair. This is the Connecticut Sun. This is a team that have jumped through players' knees before.
Bria Hartley has had dirty plays all season. You got to know who we're talking about. Bria Hartley is the same girl that pulled Angel Reese out of there by her ponytail just last game, I think 2 days ago. She pulls Becca Allen by her head to the floor, and Ariel Atkins goes over there to protect her teammate. Bria Hartley has been doing dirty things for all season. She's been a dirty.
The sight of Sophie clutching her right knee while tears streamed down her face was enough to make every Fever fan question whether this cursed season would ever catch a break from the injury plague. That's been haunting them all year. But here's where the story takes the most incredible turn you could possibly imagine. Because what happened next defied every law of physics, mathematics, and common sense. The Indiana Fever pulled off the largest comeback in franchise history without their defensive anchor and with a roster held together by athletic tape and pure determination. Smash that like button and drop comeback queens in the comments. Because what you're about to witness is the kind of sports magic that happens maybe once in a lifetime.
For 25 minutes, didn't look like we had any business beating this Connecticut Sun team. For 25 minutes, we looked like the worst team on the court. Defensive rotations, Marina hitting the three, Sanaya Rivers taking it to the rim, Tina Charles, Aaliyah Edwards, out rebounding AB, Natasha Howard. But we came alive when we needed to come alive. We forced overtime. Kelsey Mitchell, back-to-back threes in OT. Lexi Hull, dagger three, putting the nail in the coffin.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you too. Proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that sometimes it sounds like just a word when we talk about being resilient, but it's not, man. It's how we live. Yep. It's how y'all live, and it's a tribute to you. It's a tribute to your connectedness, your togetherness, your toughness, your mindset. You never give up gritty attitudes. Like, that's what it takes. That's what it takes, and we will never be counted out, because that is worth gold. That is worth.
The injury itself was absolutely sickening to watch unfold in real time. And anyone who's been following the WNBA this season knows exactly who Bria Hartley is and what kind of reputation she's built for herself. This is the same player who pulled Angel Ree out of the air by her ponytail, the same dirty competitor who's been throwing elbows and making reckless plays all season long, while somehow avoiding the kind of consequences that should have gotten her suspended months ago. When Hartley drove to the basket in the second quarter and lost control, she didn't just fall awkwardly, she crashed directly into Sophie's planted right leg like a wrecking ball hitting a support beam. The impact was so violent and so clearly avoidable that you have to wonder whether these officials are going to continue allowing this kind of reckless behavior until someone's career gets ended permanently.
Now, she was on the ground. She was crying. She was yelling. It definitely seemed like she was in a ton of pain. The training staff went over to her. They went to commercial break. Like, it was a real injury. This wasn't something, and Sophie's the type of player, a lot of times when she does get injured, she just gets right back up. She tries to walk it off. This was something that kept her down, and it was so hard to see. It is ironic because Bria Hartley has been in multiple scuffles this year with the Connecticut Sun. A lot of people would categorize her as a dirty player.
She roughs house. And Kathy Engelberg, this is why I say you wonder why there's so many goddamn injuries all over the league, because you are allowing people to play rugby and football and do UFC moves in the middle of a basketball game. In the beginning of this game, Sophie Cunningham is bringing the ball up the floor. She gets mugged, hit upside the head, knocked to the floor while dribbling the ball up the floor 75 feet away from the rim. Do you think the refs called anything?
Both Sophie's sister, I believe, and her mother both tweeted about this play. Now, Lindsay, her sister, said, WNBA, maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are able to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, Sophie. And then Paula, who I think is her mom, that's what the internet is saying, she said Hartley is a disgruntled player, having trouble everywhere she goes. She's plain mean and plays out of character.
Sophie's reaction told you everything you needed to know about the severity of what just happened. This is a player who's built her entire identity around being tough, physical, and never backing down from anyone or anything. Watching her immediately grab her knee and start hopping around on one leg before collapsing to the floor in visible agony was the kind of moment that makes your stomach drop, because you know something serious just occurred. The fact that she had to be helped off the court by trainers and teammates while clearly struggling to put any weight on that leg. Should have been the end of the story for Indiana, especially considering they're already down to basically a skeleton crew of healthy players. But here's what makes this whole situation even more infuriating. From a league-wide perspective, this injury was completely preventable if the WNBA had been doing its job all season long. Instead of allowing players like Hartley to play as if they're in a demolition derby, the referees in this game had already let Hartley and her teammates get away with multiple cheap shots and overly physical plays in the first quarter, including knocking Sophie to the floor while she was dribbling the ball 75 feet away from the basket without calling anything. When you create an environment where players know they can get away with rugby tactics and UFC moves without consequences, eventually someone's going to get seriously hurt. And that's exactly what happened today.